Welcome, and come along, observer, with me, the Traveler, for you see it is my job to explore, collect information, and to protect the multiverse. Right now, my current mission is to explore a new dimension that's opened up, one where characters and people from across the multiverse are Pokemon trainers. And we call this place the Pokeverse. As we're approaching said Pokeverse, we're heading to the only known location so far, but the scans did pick up 2 other locations that we can head to. Let's see what they are. What do you mean it's not finished yet? Come on, Todd! Well, it seems we're not going to find out right now. However, we do have information from our previous scans, so let's check them out. We're heading to the Tangled region, and we're going to be observing Flynn Rider. We also have the rules of the Pokeverse. You can see them on the screen now. Rule number 1, no items in battle. And rule number 2, only use 6 Pokemon that best represent them. And you can read the others right there as well. And some more information down below. But also, it looks like we've arrived to our destination. So let's see how well Flynn Rider will do as a Pokemon trainer.
This is the story of how I died.
Well, don't worry, this is actually a very fun story.
We now start the journey of Flynn Rider. And with the start of any Pokemon adventure, we have to get a starter Pokemon. And as per the challenge, it has to best fit them. And the world over knows him from his wanted posters. And not quite getting his nose right. So he chooses Nose Pass.
This is very, very bad. This is really bad. They just can't get my nose right.
And the only name we can give him is Wanted. You get it? Because of his nose. And the posters. Well, I thought it was clever. Before we head off to the first gym to see how well Wanted will do, let us discuss when we'll be catching our Pokemon to fill out the rest of our team. On the screen you can see a little chart, and the Pokeballs represent when we'll be catching the Pokemon after the gyms. So after Gym 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. This will be the only time we use this system. In the future we'll change it up. We'll talk about that then. So one more thing before we go into the first gym. I have never played Pokemon Black before, so I had no idea what to expect. And I thought replacing anybody with Nose Pass would be fine in the beginning. And I was wrong. Oh, so very wrong. Because the first gym leader actually has 3 gym leaders, and they pick which one depending on your starter, to have the opposite type that you have. And I just so happened to replace the water starter with a rock Pokemon, which means it's Nose Pass versus a grass Pokemon. While watching my first attempt in the background, as it goes terribly wrong, I'll explain the ranking system that we're going to use for our Pokemon challenges. You can see it on the screen now, but basically your goal is to get the lowest score, like in golf. So a 0 is going into a fight, winning no problem. Rank 1 is having to think about it, going back to the fight, winning. Rank 2 is leaving, getting a level, regrouping, or getting a new attack, coming back. Rank 3 is grinding, 4 is more grinding, and 5 is a sad amount of grinding. Now with that exposition dump over, it's time to get to the rest of the journey. I wish I can say that the first gym was more interesting, but it wasn't. It was just rock throw until I won. I will say, however, it did take me a lot of grinding and a lot of training, over an hour. It was so frustrating. I contemplated restarting the run and putting Nose Pass in a different place where the starters are, so I had a better chance of winning. But that didn't feel right, so I kept pushing through, and eventually we win. And with the victory, he has to get a rank, and he gets a rank 5. But he gets a little asterisk, because I think I sent him into an impossible battle, which isn't fair. And we get a new Pokemon. Which I'm actually quite excited about, because I've never used Ponyta, and I've always wanted to, and I never got a chance. So now it is my chance to do so. And we have to give him a name, and he gets the name Maximus.
Oh, good boy.
He's a bad horse!
Oh, he's nothing but a big sweetheart.
So there are a few unwritten rules to my challenge runs. And if you want to know, I guess, all of the eccentricities that I choose to do in these runs, for my own personal sake, to make this feel like a journey, I'll put them down in the description below. But one of them is, after I get to the city that has the next gym, I immediately battle. Doesn't matter if I know I can't win, I want to know where my team is and where they stand. And one of the strange things is I always think that normal Pokemon are weaker, which is not true. And I have learned that lesson, trust me. Plus, I also thought Maximus was going to come in and just knock him out, just sweep him. And I could not have been more wrong. And I just want to add one thing. Watchdog is the worst Pokemon ever. Seriously, I hate him throughout this entire run. It's horrible. Now with that loss under our belt, we had to leave, train, and come back. Which we do, 2 levels higher each, and it's time to battle. With some new strategies. Wanted, I knew we could take some damage, as long as we got some hardens in, so we got 2 or 3 in. And then it became a back and forth battle over Bite and Rock Throw. And I thought I was going to win, was hoping I'd get there, and then that stupid Super Potion gets used. And I'm so ticked off in this game, because everybody has one. It's driving me crazy. But eventually, Wanted knocks him out with 1 HP, which was so cool, and then Watchdog, which I hate. But I have Maximus, and Maximus is quite tough. I am happy that I have him early on in the game as well. And then he does his Retribution, Retaliation, Rehabilitation move, whatever it is. We knock him out, and we take the victory. We get a rank, and the rank is a rank 3, because we'd have to leave and come back. And with that, we get a new Pokemon. One of the reasons I like these challenge runs so much is it gives me a chance to use Pokemon I would never use, and Ducklet is definitely one of them, which is very exciting. And with a water flying type, it may be a very big help. And of course, we name him Snuggly, because of the Snuggly Duckling.
Ah, there it is, the Snuggly Duckling.
Well, I do like ducklings.
Yay!
Heading to the 3rd gym with Berg was crazy. There was acrobatic flips, and there was explosions, and out of nowhere, Bruce Willis. No, I'm kidding. If you didn't think we were going to beat this the first time with Wanted and Rock Throw, Maximus and Flame Wheel, and Snuggly with his, I'm going to say, bird move against an all-bug team, you're crazy. However, Wanted and Snuggly did both lose their respective battles, which was strange. I really thought Bubblebeam could beat Dweeble. Oh well. Even if they did lose, the team that we had with a little thought would have beat them the second time. Hands down. We will skip to the end. Here we go. Aw, man, no way, we win? Get out of here. Oh man, I thought we were gonna lose for sure. Just kidding. And we get a rank. And of course we get a big old fat 0, because we beat them all without trying. And we get to add another Pokemon to our team. Let us find out who it is. With Cubone joining our team, it is not really a strong asset. But you never know, it might come in handy down the line. And it's come to my attention that there are several characters whose backstory is that they're orphans, so we're not going to really constantly reuse Cubone with that. We're going to mix it up. But he gets the name Eugene.
Eugene Fitzherbert, huh?
Yeah, well, I'll spare you the sob story of poor orphan Eugene Fitzherbert. It's a little bit of a downer.
We are now at the 4th gym with Elsa? Eliza? Elisa? I'm gonna go with Elsa. Her team is interesting, and if you define interesting as curb stomping, then it's interesting. Volt Switch is devastating when they both have him, and they both use it against Wanted, knocking him out. I thought maybe with his defense and a rock throw or two, it would help. It doesn't. So we sent out Eugene. We know he can't be affected by electric, so we thought that might be our advantage. It doesn't help at all. He loses to Aerial Ace. We sent out Maximus against Zebstrika. He destroys him. And if you thought Ducklet was going to help, you're crazy. So we lose. We come back with a vengeance, and the hope to get a rank 3. Of course, she starts out with Emolga, and we start with Wanted. Now, our different strategy is we're going to try to paralyze one of them to stop Volt Switch. We paralyze, we hit with Rock Throw, but it doesn't help. They Volt Switch anyways, and of course, Volt Switch again, knocking out Wanted. They send out the second one, and Maximus comes in. We use Flame Wheel, knocking it out, and they send out the second Emolga. It goes for Volt Switch, lands, and swaps out with Zebstrika. Now we know Maximus has a hard time against him, so it hits him with Flame Wheel because of the previous move, and we swap him out with Eugene. Now Eugene can't be hurt, and so goes the very long battle between Zebstrika and Eugene. A very long battle of just dig and whatever Zebstrika throws at him. And eventually he does beat Zebstrika, but I'll see you at the last dig. It takes a while. I'll go do some paperwork or volunteer somewhere. Alright, we're now at the last attack, and with the last dig, Zebstrika's out. But I decided to keep out Eugene. He only had 4 HP, and maybe if he gets one headbutt, it will help. But with that, we have Maximus, and we use Flame Wheel. Now this gets a little bit dicey right here, because we have enough strength, but not enough HP. So we hit him, and hits his back, and knocks out Maximus, but got burned, and the burn gives us the victory, and also gives us the rank 3, which isn't too shabby. And now it is time to get our next Pokemon. Just like I said at Ducklet, I really like these challenge runs because I could use Pokemon that I've never used before or would have never used in the past. And Smoochum is definitely one of them. Now I did have a different Pokemon in mind before Smoochum, but it had me thinking, you can't have Flynn Rider without the Smolder.
Alright, listen, I didn't want to have to do this, but you leave me no choice. Here comes the Smolder.
We are at Gym 5 with Clay, Aiken, and this is American Idol. Come on, really? That was a terrible joke. Anyway, coming to this gym, we are feeling strangely confident. We had Snuggly beating Karakarok, we had Smolder's ice moves, we had Snuggly's water moves, and we had Eugene's ground moves, and Maximus with his fire versus Excadrill. But that wasn't the problem. We may have had a chance to beat these guys without their 2 Hyper Potions, and that right there was the real problem with this battle. Every time we got just close enough to win, Hyper Potion. And if they didn't have those, we would have won. So we had to give up, had to leave, and had to train. And unfortunately, it wasn't just one time we had to train and come back. It was 2. After losing and coming back twice to try again, our only goal now is to not get a rank 5. And so, we start off with Snuggly. And Karakarok uses Torment, which only allows us to use the same move once, so we use Water Pulse, and then we still have Bubble Beam. We're confused, but we still land it and knock him out. Now we have Excadrill. And I don't know why I didn't swap out, because he's dead. Now we have Maximus. He uses Inferno. Now, funny enough, Burn seems like a good idea, but it actually hindered us, because with that Burn, it goes to red and use Hyper Potion. If that wasn't the case, we would have knocked out Excadrill in 2 hits. But a couple other fire moves knocks him out. With Palpitoad coming in, or Palpatine, you know they're the same. Have you seen them in the same place? And with water moves and ground moves, Maximus didn't stand a chance. Wanted, I thought maybe could get a couple hits in, and when he does, it does absolutely nothing. And it knocks him out. With Aqua Ring healing him, we were still doing okay. Just not ideal. Smolder knocked out 1 hit. So it's all down to Eugene. He wasn't that helpful before, but boy was I wrong. Bone Meringue almost knocked out his entire health. We did it again. Almost happened again, but we mixed it up with a dig, and we knocked out Palpitoad. And Clay Aiken loses American Idol. The whole audience is shocked. What will we do? Just kidding. But we did get a rank 4, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not great. The last gym didn't go that well, but maybe this one will go better with rock Pokemon and ice Pokemon versus flying Pokemon. I wonder if it'll pay off. Oh, look at that. Swoobat's already knocked out. Now for Unpheasant, it is a little bit different, but it is interesting. Unpheasant is fast enough to knock out Smolder, but Smolder's strong enough to get its HP down to red, making them use both hyper potions, which gives us the advantage moving forward with the rest of this match. And Wanted gets its time to shine. Rock Slide knocks it out. Swanna is the last Pokemon on their team, even with Aqua Ring and Bubble Beam. 2 Rock Slides knock out Swanna, giving us the victory, and giving us a rank 0. Now it's time to catch our last Pokemon. Let's see what it is. Poliwag. Now you might be thinking, Poliwag's an interesting choice. I would have loved Nickit, but it's not in this game, nor can you use the other Pokemon from this in the new ones. And maybe Kecleon would have been a good choice too, but Rapunzel had him, so we wanted to mix it up, and Flynn Rider always called Pascal Frog. So Poliwag's name will be called Frog.
Alive!
I didn't see that coming.
Eugene?
The hair actually glows.
Eugene!
Why does her hair glow?
Eugene!
What?
While trying to escape to the 7th gym, taking the secret caves of the Snuggly Duckling, not long after, did Frog evolve.
Why is he smiling at me?
Hey guys, it's me, the guy from the video that you're watching now. I wanted to say that these videos are pretty early. If you're enjoying them, I'm really glad you are. But I'm still going to make some small mistakes. And one being, I didn't know Politoed couldn't evolve until the end of the main campaign. We're still going to do the Elite Four 2 and the Champion, because that's kind of the red of this game. Now, in the future, we're going to adjust some evolutions to make sure that we can use the team that we pick for most of the game. Anyways, thank you, and back to the show. We're now at the 7th gym versus Bryson. Wait a minute. In my Rapunzel video, I kept calling Price Bryce. Am I psychic? Am I crazy? Oh my gosh. I need a moment. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Alright, it's okay. I'm back. I did my deep breathing exercises. It's gonna be okay. But I am ready to get back to the match. Maximus burns Beartick, but is knocked out by Brine. I didn't know he had that. I thought he was gonna sweep the whole gym. He didn't do that. Wanted's Rock Slide, however, is super effective, and even though confused, hits it again and knocks him out. Now with Cryogonal, I didn't know what to expect. It's a weird face thingy. But with Aurora Beam, Reflect, and a second Aurora Beam, Wanted was out. Now for Eugene, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a Pokemon expert. Doing this, I hope to learn more. So I didn't know Eugene would lose so badly and very quickly. Nor did I know that Snuggly's Fly would be just enough to be able to get a critical hit, giving us the victory. Not how I planned, but still a rank 0. I have been showing you no rival fights because they haven't been interesting up until now. And this is the only fight in the run with a rival that's been a challenge. And it's Bianca. If that is surprising to you, please let me know in the comments because I have not played Pokemon Black, so I don't know if this fight is surprising. We had to leave, train, and come back just to beat her, which technically would have given her a higher rank than some of the gym leaders. But not just train, we also had to evolve. Maximus.
Max, you brought them here? Thank you. No, really. Thank you. I feel maybe this whole time we've just been misunderstanding one another, and we're really just... Yeah, you're right, we should go.
Now, Bianca wasn't the only fight that was difficult along the way to the 8th gym leader. There was one other trainer in his gym that completely stonewalled us. And it's this guy right here. We eventually took him out, but this guy would have gotten a rank 3 as well, better than some of the gym leaders, just like Bianca did. And the real question is, how well will we fare against the 8th gym leader? We are now at the 8th gym. This is not our first attempt. So the real question is, can we get a rank 1, or do we have to leave and get a worse rank? Let's see. Smolder tries to knock out Fracture, but Fracture retaliates and wins. Now Eugene can knock it out because it has such low HP with Bone Meringue. Now the next Pokemon, Druddigon, is a tough one, and it has a very interesting effect on the rest of the battle. Just like previous gyms had one Pokemon that can take the most hits, causing them to use both their Hyper Potion, that's Druddigon for this gym. With Frog's Hypnosis, Belly Drum, and Body Slam, a very amazing and overpowered combination, Druddigon starts to lose his HP. Hyper Potion, and a second Hyper Potion. Now, what's interesting is it has been chipping away at Frog's HP because of rough skin down to 4. With Hackeriss left, what will happen? A paralyze and one last body slam knocks him out, and we take the victory with a rank 1 and a spectacular final gym fight. We are now at the Elite Four, and I wanted to use this time to explain Rule 3 of the Pokeverse. That states we're allowed to use rare candies during the Elite Four fights. That's because if we actually trained all the Pokemon to match their average, it would take us hours, maybe even a day, to do so. So we're allowed to increase them to match the average of the Elite Four. And if we lose, we're allowed to use rare candies to increase all of our Pokemon by 1. Now, if we increase it, it actually increases the points in our ranking system. So our goal is to keep a low level when fighting the Elite Four. So our goal is to see how low level we can be when we fight the Elite Four. Let's find out. After many attempts later, we are now ready to face the Elite Four. And all we had to be was level 60 when we started at level 47. But we did come up with a lot of good strategies to face each member. So here we are. We use Smolder to put it asleep. We use Shadow Ball, not once but twice, only if it stays asleep. And it does, so Sarcophagus is out. Now, Chandelure would have been knocked out if I didn't make 2 mistakes. 1, Body Slam, doesn't affect it. And if we don't miss the second Hydro Pump, which we do. So 1, takes it all with a red, full Restore, we miss the second one, third one hits, red, but knocks out Frog. So, we have Snuggly. Now they use their last full Restore. We had Surf, but we thought it might not be enough. The Shadow Ball knocks out almost all of its HP, but a second Surf knocks out Chandelure. And now, we fight Jellicent. Jellicent was one of the roadblocks of the Elite Four. Very annoying. Fly didn't do enough damage. Shadow Ball almost killed it 1 HP. So we said, let's just go for it and use Hurricane. It landed, confused it, hit itself with confusion. Luckily, the second Hurricane knocks it out. Awesome. And with Golurk out, we hope to use Surf to get a 3rd knockout in a row. No chance. And Golurk knocks him out. But Maximus and his Fire Blast finishes him off. And with that, we beat Chantal. We are now at Marshall, the fighting gym leader with his martial arts team. Huh. That's a little on the nose, don't you think? Anyway. We decided to go with Maximus first. Now, I made the mistake of using Bounce, thinking that the flying moves against fighting moves, which is an advantage, would work. It does not. I would have been better off using Fire. But it's okay. We knocked his HP down to half, so when Snuggly comes out, we use Fly, and that finishes him off. Now, Sock, however, is a little bit different. With Fly, he goes for Stone Edge first, and he misses. Fly hits, down to red. But, in Pokemon Black fashion, he uses full Restore. Then, hits him with Stone Edge, we use Hurricane, down to red, full Restore again. He goes for Fly, putting him in the red, and Snuggly does lose to Karate Chop. I thought maybe Smolder can help out. No, we're already out. Moving on to the next guy, and that is Wanted. Wanted, now that he's a little bit higher leveled, can take a hit. So he takes the hit, dishes it out, and wins. We have Conkeldurr, and the best one to fight Conkeldurr is Frog. We put him to sleep, and we hope he stays asleep long enough. We go for Hydro Pump, hits, wakes up, takes out more than half our HP. Second one knocks him out. And last but not least is Mind Show. We go for the same move, Hypnosis, but we don't go for Hydro Pump. We think about it for a minute, and then we choose to do Body Slam. We go for Body Slam. He doesn't wake up. Body Slam again. Doesn't wake up. Body Slam, and we get a 3-hit knockout, defeating Marshall. We are now at Grimsley, the Dark Elite Four member. I like the name Grimsley. It's pretty clever. I think it's based off of Brothers Grimm, and since the dark stories and fairy tales, it's pretty clever. I'm stalling, and it's because I hate Scrafty. This is 13 attempts, hours later, and I'm just so tired of Scrafty. So he's dead. I can talk about other people now. I'm better with that. So we use Frog versus Crocodile. another weird thing happens here. I don't know what I was thinking. Again, 13 attempts later, I'm pretty sure I was just mentally drained. So we switch out for Snuggly, which goes for Surf, which takes him all the way to yellow. I'm sorry, red. But of course, they heal, and now Crocodile is the Pokemon that they use all their health potions on. But what's different this time is Snuggly goes for one more Surf and actually beats him. We don't lose the Pokemon to the Pokemon that uses all the potions. Now Leopard comes in. Leopard is very taxing on the entire team. Snuggly tries to go in for the win. Leopard hits him twice and it's already out. I thought maybe Smolder, but then my brain went, oh wait a minute, Dark versus Psychic. Yeah, that's not gonna go well, and it didn't go well. Now, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit here because Leopard infatuates not just Frog, but Wanted, and it doesn't go well, so I'm just gonna skip to when Wanted dies. So, see you in a second. Alright, now we're back, sorry. We send in Eugene, and with Bone Meringue, knockout. Now Bisharp, I should have just jumped straight to Maximus, and with Dig, we took half its HP away, but Bisharp is much faster. But the question is Maximus faster now? He is, and knocks out Bisharp, giving us a victory versus Grimsley. Lastly, it's time to take on Caitlin, the Psychic Elite Four member. Riunculus is of the 4 or 5 Pokemon, collectively, of the Elite Four, that gave us the most trouble. At the end, you're going to see a little picture or diagram of the Pokemon that gave us a challenge. Either that, or you've already seen it before the Elite Four happened. Anyways, so for Riunculus, we went with Smolder, and the tried and true method of Sing and Shadow Ball. We're lucky enough that even after the full restore, we're fast enough to still hit it again with the Shadow Ball, knocking it out. Now we have Moshana here, and we try again, Sing and Shadow Ball. And we hope it stays asleep to knock it out with Shadow Balls. We did it. 2 hits, it's out. Now we have Sillagraph. Sillagraph is kind of interesting. It's faster than us and hits us with Shadow Ball. But we put it to sleep and we hope it stays asleep. We hit it. It goes to red. It uses the last full restore. It wakes up. But we still hit it with the super effective and we knock it out. Now it's time for Got the Tell. We go for Sing. We hope it stays asleep. We hit 1 Shadow Ball. Stay asleep. It does. No more full restores. Knock it out. And we have defeated the Elite Four. With the Elite Four defeated, it's time to face N. And put an end to it. That's pretty funny, right? That's pretty good. Anyways, you know who puts an end to Zekrom? Eugene. Little Eugene. He does a dig, he hits him, and then Zekrom hits him with Giga Impact, meaning he has to recharge. We use Bone Meringue once and twice, and that's the end of Zekrom. By Eugene. Just to illustrate how ridiculous that idea is, I made a picture, and as you can see, there's little Eugene on the left, cute little Eugene, and there's Zekrom taking up half the picture on the right. Now, if I made it to scale, Eugene would be even smaller. You might not be able to see him on a phone. And then Zekrom wouldn't even fit on the picture. So you're telling me that little Eugene took his bone and went pew pew and threw it, and he wins? Look, I'm not even saying I'm upset. I'm impressed. It's just ridiculous is what it is. Speaking of ridiculous, Vanillix and Maximus. So I don't think we need to have a whole big thing about that. Pokemon Black had some weird Pokemon. Vanillix is up there, is a strange one. Caracosta proved more difficult than Zekrom. We try with Wanted to paralyze him. It does work. Because out of all of our teammates, only Wanted has lightning moves. I don't tell you. So we do hit him with a lightning move, and we get knocked out. But we do paralyze him, which will help us. We send out Eugene, and this dude, I called it earlier and said he wasn't going to be helpful. I am very wrong. Well, we have Klinkling and Maximus. Again, no brainer. Knocks him out with Fire Blast. We have Archeops with Frog. And we get hit pretty hard, but a Hydro Pump knocks it out 1 hit. And last is Zoroark, which I'm on board with the fan theory that N is Zoroark. or Zoroark as an N. Whichever that theory is, I'm on board. Frog lost, sorry. I should have been more clear. Now, I was kind of hoping we can give him the Smolder. And it didn't work. Bit of an off day for me. With Maximus and his speed and strength, Fire Blast knocks out Zoroark. And, well, N is defeated. With N defeated, it was Ghetsis' turn, and he beat us. We kept trying, to no success. So we left, with our tails between our legs. We went searching for answers, we went searching for TMs, items, something that could turn the tide. We ended up in a shop, looking for Blizzard, or Thunder, or something. That's when it hit me. You can even see the little bar going up and down, and then it just stops. So I realized we already could beat him. We didn't need to leave. So, you might think, you left, you definitely don't get a rank 0 or 1. I'm gonna say we still do as long as we don't change the rules. We didn't get leveled up, we didn't use items, we didn't change TMs or anything from what we had. You know? So, here's how it goes. We put him to sleep, and Sarcophagus, 2 hits, he's out. Now, the real reason we left was Hydreigon. Hydreigon is the strongest Pokemon we've had to face so far, and the most challenging. And here's our strategy. We send out Frog, we put him to sleep, because Frog can take a hit, but Smolder can't. So, Smolder comes out, and we use Blizzard. 1 hit, knocks it out. And the rest of the match will be much smoother after that, because he was knocking out the whole team by himself. With Bisharp, Maximus, Fire Blast. That's end. Buffalont actually put up a little more of a fight. I always underestimate normal Pokemon, and I never have any moves ready for them. We do put it to sleep in the try and true method. We use Psychic this time. It knocks out a third of its HP. We go for a little more. It goes into red. Full restore finally. Wakes it up, but Psychic takes about half HP. We put it back to sleep. And we go for another Psychic, knocking it out. Now it's time for Electros. We put it to sleep. We go for Blizzard. It misses. We go for Blizzard again, landing the hit, taking over half the HP. We go for a second Blizzard, knocking it out. We have Seismitoad next. We put it to sleep. We use Psychic, taking half HP. It wakes up and it knocks us out. We go for Snuggly. Now, Snuggly somehow can always come through with the clutch. We go for Fly. It hits, gets the yellow, Muddy Water, Fly again. It misses. We go for one last one. We are down to 7 HP. He flies, hits it, and knocks out Seismitoad, giving us the victory against Gestus. And with all that done, we now have the end of the main story. Getsis and N both get a level 1. Elite Four get a plus 11 or plus 12. I'll have to do the math later. Now, with that, we're still going to fight Elite Four 2 and the champion. We have to at least take on one trainer above the Elite Four. It's part of the challenge run. And with that also said, I've been noticing some things that make this less of a challenge, mainly Sing and Hypnosis too often. So maybe in the future I'll put that in the suggestion box, and we'll come back to it later and see if maybe that's a new rule to add to save those moves for just in case, to make it more of a challenge. However, before we continue on to the Elite Four 2, we evolve Frog into his true form.
So, Flynn, where are you from?
Whoa, whoa, sorry, Blondie, I don't do backstory. However, I am becoming very interested in yours. Now, I know I'm not supposed to mention the hair.
Nope.
Or the mother. Frankly, I'm too scared to ask about the frog.
Chameleon?
Nuance.
This is not the Elite Four 2 victory. However, it is hilarious and depressing, and both if you're twisted. All Smolder had to do was hit Sing and we would have won. She did not, and that added another hour of work to my time. I got so frustrated, I set the controller down and I had to walk away. That gap is just in real time, me frustrated. I even named the file Rage Quit. However, I did go back to Walking Dead and find some new things to showcase, so maybe there is a silver lining. That being said, this is the Elite Four 2 run where we win. And we decided to start with Marshall, which he now has Breloom, and it's half grass, so Flamethrower knocks it out. We stick with Maximus against Sock. We go for Flamethrower with the Fire Pokemon, which was better than my Bounce idea. However, he still has a Rock move, Stone Edge, and it does a lot of damage, but we are fast enough to get 2 Flamethrowers in before he hits, knocking him out. We stick around for Throw. For Flamethrower, doesn't really do much, and his Earthquake knocks us out. But Snuggly comes in. We fly, we hit, and we win. It's pretty good. Now Conkeldurr. I decide to stick with Snuggly, hoping he can get a good hit in. We do Surf. Barely anything, and, well, that did not go well. But Frog, in his final form, bam, 1 hit. Now it's time for Mind Chow. He does Fake Out and Acrobatics, knocking us down to half HP, but we put him to sleep, hit him with a Surf, hit him with a second Surf, knocking him out. And now for the last Pokemon, Toxicroak. And I learn a thing or two, so I send out Eugene. And what's strange is we just kind of do Earthquake back and forth until, well, Toxicroak loses. It does give us a victory against Marshall. We're facing Caitlin again, and she starts off with Murshana. Now, we picked the Smolder because the Smolder is the best choice for our Psychic Pokemon, our Ghost Pokemon, and our Dragon Pokemon. That seems like a flaw with this team. We'll cover that later. We put her to sleep, hit her once, she wakes up and does Reflect. We put her to sleep again, and we hope that's enough to take her out. Yes it is, and Marshana is out. Now it's time for Siligriff, and we send out Wanted instead. We hope that Stone Edge will be enough to take it out. Is it? And Psychic finishes us off. Real shame. We have Snuggly with a new move of Ice Beam. Boom! Just a sliver, which means full restore. Second Ice Beam? Nope. Come on, third. Oh. And Snuggly is out. But Maximus, I'm pretty sure, will be more than enough to take him out with that tiny bit of health left. And now it's time for Metagross. Lucky for us, our move Overheat is the only move that can take him out. 1 hit, and it does. Thank goodness. And if we swap out from Riunculus, we decide to switch to Eugene, because we need Maximus for Bronzong later. And I've made a mistake, because Riunculus has Energy Ball, and yeah, well, that was it. He's out. But the Smolder! Tried and true. Now, you may be thinking it's a lot of Sing in this game, and that's fair. But Smolder is a glass cannon. Can't take a hit to save its life. But, as I've said, Bronzong's out, and so is Maximus. And now that we've swapped it out, we have a chance to Overheat. And there it is. Bronzong is out. Gothitelle is last. Let's see how it plays out. We have our Poison Jab instead of Flamethrower. We are now confused. Let's hope it doesn't affect us. We go for Flamethrower. We hit it. We go for Poison Jab. Again, we hit it again. Just a little sliver left. One more time. Yes, no confusion hits. We did it, beating Caitlin. Shental. Sweet, sweet Shental. We're here again. And we've come with vengeance after the embarrassing defeat last time. But we've been here before. Smolder, sleep. Give him the old 1-2 punch. 1, 2, and boom, Sarcophagus is out. Now Chandelure, it's time for you to meet the Frog in his final form. After you hit us, of course. 1 hit, maybe? Yes. Oh man, Politoed's pretty cool. I was sleeping on him for a while. I like him now. We send out Wanted for Driftblim. Now, he hits me 3 times with Thunder in a row and paralyzing me so I can't hit. Some of the comments tell me how likely that is. It might not be that much, but it was super frustrating. Now we have Snuggly, which in hindsight was a bad choice. I thought maybe Ice Beam, but it doesn't matter because I'm dead. So we bring in the Smolder, and I don't go for sleep this time. I go straight for Blizzard. 1 hit, baby. Whew, thank goodness. Oh, Jellicent. Sweet, frustrating Jellicent. We stick with Smolder. We put you to sleep, and again, 1-2 punch. 1, 2, maybe 3. Super effective. Knockout. And we have Frostlass. I think I have a good idea who to go up against Frostlass. With Flamethrower, one hit, it's all done. And lastly is Golurk. Frog, bring it home for us. With the Surf. And with that, we have beaten Chantal. Mostly with one-hit KOs, which is pretty cool. It's time for Grimsley to meet a grim fate. Just messing. Nah, but Sharkpedo was a challenge. We had no good moves against it, so we gave Wanted Thunderbolt, and that helped. But they have full restore, so we know we couldn't win now. So we decided to paralyze it with Thunder Wave, and that worked. We even got a chance to do a second Thunderbolt. We hoped, but it didn't work. But Earthquake will knock out Wanted, and it did. We send in Eugene with Bone Meringue, knocks it out. And now we have Crocodile. We send out Frog, and if you think Earthquake's gonna stop Frog, you're wrong. He's awesome, and he knocks him out in one hit with Surf. You know what? I have learned and grown to appreciate Politoed. But still, not you, Scrafty. I hate you so much. He even kills Snuggly. We inadvertently sacrificed him. But we send out Maximus for revenge. We even use Bounce on purpose to take him out, and we do. So all I gotta say is, you know what? Suck it, Scrafty. Well, we know Leopard always infatuates the Pokemon, so we came up with a strategy. We gave Eugene Toxic, and it works. It lands and it's poisoned. Kind of like a tit-for-tat situation. Now, we were lucky enough to actually get one move in, Earthquake, and it takes out Leopard. Very lucky and very awesome. Now we have Drapion. I was kind of hoping to see what Eugene could do. With that little HP, not a whole lot. Send out Frog. Our Ringer survives one Thunderfang, hits him with Surf, survives the second Thunderfang, and knocks him out. You know what? I'm serious. Politoed, my whole opinion has changed thanks to this run. Now, they send out Bisharp. I don't think Bisharp has even hurt Maximus. So we do Overkill with Overheat, and we win against Grimsley. With the Elite Four defeated, it is time to see the end of Flynn Rider's journey as we face the champion. And this is our actual first attempt blindly going into him. We use Maximus to start off with because he has the most speed and power, and we were very lucky because Exceligor is weak against fire. We knocked him out one hit. Now with Buffalont, we still don't really have any defense against him, so my idea was send in Eugene. He has Toxic. That might give us, a little advantage here. So we poison him, and Buffalont just destroys Eugene. Eugene, thank you. Somehow you can't beat Buffalont, but you can beat Zekrom. It's very impressive. We send out Wanted. Wanted gets hit with Earthquake. Half his HP is knocked out. We keep trying to chip away his HP, and Poison helps. And eventually the second Earthquake knocks out Wanted. We send out Snuggly, but the full Restorer comes in and cures the poison too. And of course, with one Stone Edge, knocks out Snuggly. But he did get half his HP. So we send this Smolder with the tried and true method of Sing. But we can't use Shadow Ball, so we use Psychic. And it helped us with Getsis. So we go for it again and knocks him out. We are now going up against Volcarona. We send out Frog. We use Quiver Dance, one Surf, and come on. Second Surf knocks it out. Now for the name that I cannot pronounce well, it is Escavalier, and it also has a weakness of fire. So we switch out for Maximus. It does hit us, but not nearly enough. Flamethrower, one hit, takes it out. Now we have Drudicon, and the only Pokemon that can even stand a chance against it is the Smolder. So it's time to do that. We go for Sing, and we're going to go for Blizzard. Is it going to be enough for one? It is, and that's how you give him the Smolder. Now we have Vanillix for the last Pokemon with Maximus. And with a Flamethrower, that is the end of the champion. Now, I'm not going to lie. I am surprised that's how that ended, but I'm not complaining either. And if we look at it, we would have gotten a rank 0 from the champion. That's not how that goes, however, because we have to combine Elite Four 2 and the champion together, which is a plus 13. But now let's see where Flynn Rider ranks on the Pokeverse, now that he is the champion. The computer has finished compiling his information, so let's check it out. It seems Flynn Rider had a problem with dragons, ghosts, and psychics. He also had a problem with normal types and water types, specifically the ones you see on the screen, but not because of the weakness, but because of type coverage. Not good enough moves. The only one who did was Wanted, and Nosepass is a difficult Pokemon to use. And lastly, some of his Pokemon were glass cannons. With that said, combining all of the ranks from each gym in Elite Four and Champion, he gets a rank 42. With all that information combined, the computer states he is a gym leader, more so in the earlier gyms, 1 through 4 that is. The computer also analyzed the 2 locations that we can safely travel to. Finally. And they are the Walker region and the Clicker region. You let us know which path you want to take. And if you don't, I don't know, we'll rock, paper, scissors for it. And you suck at it, Todd. Anyway, we have now come to the end of the story of Flynn Rider. But it's not the destination, it's the journey that defines us. So let's take a look back at the journey of Flynn Rider. Life can be cruel and unfair, and Flynn Rider is no stranger to the unfairness of life. He was orphaned, abandoned, and forced to become a thief to just survive, to protect himself, and in doing so, he became somebody else. He became Flynn Rider. He allowed vanity and pride to take over, became a scoundrel to cover up his loneliness, used humor to cover up his sadness, and chased reputation over friendship. He did all this to protect his innermost self, and that's how he lived his life, until he met a light so pure that shined through all the darkness that he carried, showing all of his scars and broken parts. But the funny thing was, she didn't leave. She saw him for who he really was. And it was at that point he realized that he wanted to be the person that she saw. Not for her, but for himself. Because he knew that if he could learn to love himself, then he could learn to love another. And let go of the past that once haunted him, for a future, for a dream of a new one. A world where he gets to be himself. Where he gets to be Eugene. So if you're feeling lost, abandoned, or forced to be somebody you're not out there, I am sorry. But I can tell you that tomorrow will come, and you have to keep fighting. So keep looking for your light, your new dream, whatever that may be. And remember, it's okay to just be you. It's okay to be Eugene. Till next time, observers, I sincerely hope you're happy and that you're doing well. And remember, it's not what's happened, it's not what you've done, it's what you do next that makes all the difference. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.